Hey everyone, Zach coming to you from Out There Vans headquarters in Grand Junction, Colorado. Today behind me, I've got a Mercedes Sprinter, a Ram ProMaster, and a Ford Transit van. I want to give you a really quick abbreviated highlight about the differences of these three platforms. This isn't a you should buy this van over this van, but the big things that I would talk one of our clients through looking at converting a conversion van. So starting out behind me, we've got a Mercedes Sprinter. This is the 144-inch wheelbase high roof model. Note that this is a previous generation van. However, the chassis, the specs, they're all the same. It's just an updated skin to some of the parts of the van and some minor chassis differences. So this is a high roof van, as I mentioned. This is a V6 diesel powertrain. This is a two-wheel drive model. If you purchase a 4x4 or actually an all-wheel drive today in 2024, you will have a slight height difference of about 2 inches to your powertrain. These vans are the choice to get if diesel is the powertrain of your choice. Here on the western slope of Colorado, in a little bit more of a remote region, I generally suggest our clients go with a Ram ProMaster or a Ford Transit platform if they are purchasing brand new, because our nearest Mercedes dealer is in Denver or Salt Lake City, about 3.5-4 hours in each direction. So in terms of a new warranty issue on your van, you're talking about an entire road trip just to get that taken care of. Other than that, the Mercedes platform is still a great luxurious interior if you spec it up to that point, but keep in mind with all three of these vans, if you do buy a base van, it is ultimately a working van, so don't expect too much from the interior at the base level. Coming over here to the Ram ProMaster, this is a 136 wheelbase high roof van. Again, all three of these vans are high roof variants with the shortest wheelbase they offer with that high roof. This is a 2023 Ram ProMaster with the updated front to it. These vans come only in a gas powertrain with a 3.6 V6. It's a tried and true engine. These vans only come in a front wheel drive variant. There are some pros to that. So as we look at this van compared to the Ford Transit or even to the Mercedes Sprinter, you'll notice it is quite a bit shorter, even with it being the high roof model. So being front wheel drive, there is no drive shaft having to be shuttled to those rear wheels. So what that means is your load floor of your cargo area already from the base starts about 9 inches lower than these other two vans. That makes a huge difference if you are heading down more remote Forest Service roads in a dense forest. Most of the Forest Service maintenance, it is not in their schedule to go through and clear out branches for a giant high profile vehicle to drive through. So even if you're able to start out with your height of your van about a foot lower than these others, it makes a huge difference. In my personal use of these Ram ProMasters, I like to throw some all-terrain tires on them for extra traction, and then that front wheel drive takes care of any potential grip issues I might have in the circumstances that I would be driving around a large high roof heavy van. Again, I'm not overlanding in it, I'm not taking it like 4-wheel drive Jeep roads, but it takes care of my use case. Additionally then, on the far side here, we've got a Ford Transit. This specific model is a client's as well, a 2022 model. This is a high roof. I believe that it may have an inch or two of a suspension lift, but this is the all-wheel drive variant here. So again, quite a bit higher than these other models. And even if we get rid of that inch or two difference, it's still a big difference. I always point out the Ford Transit, the Ram ProMaster, you're gonna find about the same serviceability in terms of towns having both of these dealerships where they might not have that Mercedes Sprinter or a specialized diesel mechanic on hand. But these two vans here, the big reason why I would go with one or the other is I either absolutely need all-wheel drive because I live in an extremely snowy environment and I need that vehicle to commute from point A to point B. The Ram ProMaster, that front-wheel drive, if you can say I don't need to drive my van today or I can stay put, that's where I would go with this platform for its lower profile capabilities. But there's a lot to be said about having all-wheel drive in a more remote environment when you do need it. If you're going with the rear-wheel drive variant, I would just say go with the Ram ProMaster unless there's a big personal preference there. All in all, the last thing I want to address is a question we get a lot, and it is, do we only work on the Ram ProMaster platform? And obviously not, considering we have all three vans here. But the main reason why you see us converting a lot of Ram ProMasters over these other two platforms is the general shape of this van. It is a much boxier van, and we are able to utilize a lot more of the upper elevations of that van for usable square footage in terms of sleeping width. It's a very wide van. Where these other two vans, they might share the same width down low, but they have a much more defined taper as they go upwards towards the higher elevations of the van, where you might be sleeping if you have a garage down below. There's pros and cons to each platform. This is just a short little clip that I wanted to mention a few of the main differences between these vans. I don't have an answer to this is the van you must convert. However, just a few considerations to think about with these platforms. No matter what van you might be thinking about converting, I do recommend you go sit in it, you drive it, and you get a feel for what the interior feels like. All three of these vans have a very distinct interior feel. If you like to feel a little higher up, the Ram Promaster is your choice. If you like to sit more down low and feel like you're driving a car, the Ford Transit has more of that vibe. And then right smack dab between is the Mercedes Sprinter over here. No matter what, before you purchase one of these vans or go out and convert one, I recommend sitting in it and getting a feel for how that interior actually feels with you sitting in it. Again, there's no right or wrong answer for you today on what van I would recommend you convert. These are all just a few things for you to consider if you're in the process of thinking about converting a van or purchasing a van. And if you personally own a van or are researching it, feel free to write down in the comment section down below some things you might have noticed about the vans, or why you chose one van over the other. If you're interested in our custom van conversion services or component installation services here at our shop in Grand Junction, Colorado, head over to OutThereVans.com. You can find more information on that. I'll put a link down in the description below. And if you are a DIY van builder, you're in the process of converting your van, head over to our website, shop OutThereVans.com. You'll find a variety of van components, prefab cabinetry, paneling kits that might help your process along the way. And if you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, and we'd love it if you hit subscribe so you can see our future products, projects, and other vans revolving through our shop here in Grand Junction, Colorado. I would appreciate you watching today, and we'll see you next time.